Hey everybody, it's your boy Nerdicane. I wanted to knock out a third video today. This is from last week. I'm catching up. I've got two more issues of The Hunt for Wolverine came out, which I'm gonna do probably tomorrow. I really don't have time to do much the rest of this day. I gotta go get Nerdicane Jr. here in a little while. Not really, nothing happens. Not a whole lot happens. This is like getting the gang together type of episode. So this video is gonna be a little short, but the cool thing is, this is how you do it. This is a lot of talk, and a lot of setting up the team and putting the team together. But I realized as I was reading it, at no point did I get bored listening to all the talk. Whereas this piece of trash was all talk that just walked in a circle and went nowhere. This is almost all talk, but at no point are you really bored. So this is Lost Weapons. This is basically Daredevil. He's been tasked from the Hunt for Wolverine by Kitty Pryde to start tracking down Wolverine. So he gets this guy who is an Inhuman, but he's an Inhuman with a photographic. He can actually take a mental photograph of things, and he's a detective, which is like the most fortunate power that you could ever get from Terrigen Mist exposure. But it works. This guy, at first when you meet him, you know, it's not like they instantly meet and they're like, oh, cool, let's go have an adventure. This dude's like, yeah, I don't like mutants, and mutants don't like me because I'm an Inhuman, and we just kind of had like a war. And they go through the steps, and Daredevil kind of talks him into it. And it's really cool the way that they interact and go back and forth, and the way Daredevil gets him on the team. There's a little bit of a funny part where, right here he says, Wolverine's missing. And this guy goes, yeah, which one? And then he just goes through the roster of these like makeshift and fill-in Wolverines. And there's even more in the current Marvel universe. There's even more than this. Which I found that was a really funny line. It's hard to make me laugh, but when I read that, I actually laughed out loud. So, Charles Soule. Oh yeah, sorry. Here's credit where credit's due. I don't know how to say that. Is that, somebody help me out? Is that Soule with a silent E or Soule? I want to say it right because he's writing this right. He's doing a really good job with this. The first Hunt for Wolverine issue was very good. And then they got to go get Misty Knight, and she's got like a cybernetic arm. I don't know a whole lot about her, and she kind of stops a crime, an armed robbery, by crushing an 8-ball. But then these dudes run away. I found that a little weird. You probably should have stopped them, because they run away and they're just gonna go. They still have their guns and they still have their masks. They're just gonna go rob somebody else with guns. The other thing I found weird about this is Daredevil shows up to this bar. Now, if Daredevil showed up to a bar, everybody in that bar would break out their phone and be recording Daredevil. But I don't know how common it is for people to see superheroes in this universe, and I'm not going to get into it. That's a very deep rabbit hole to where they all just don't care. But Misty Knight has no interest, just like this guy did, and Daredevil could not really convince her. So this dude, who is a New York City detective, says, okay, let me talk to her. And he basically just sits down and talks to her because they were in the same industry. They did the same job. And I'm going to skip a page. And he just talks to her, and he just talks her into it like a real person would do. And it was pretty awesome. It's a lot of talk, not much happens. But in the entire issue, I was never bored. I was always like compelled to read more. It wasn't painful like Rainbow Rowell's Runaways 9, which no one should ever pick up or read. It just flowed really well. And Charles Soule or Soule, I'll get it right next time, dude. I'm sorry. Here's the cool thing. Cypher is one of these X-Men. He gets involved. He's one of those X-Men from a kind of a weird era of the X-Men. His power is he can understand any language spoken. And it seems like a really stupid power, but Charles, the writer, kind of takes it and says, okay, so he's kind of got hooked on the internet, and because he can solve puzzles but looking at them really quickly, he kind of gets wrapped up into the internet and just like sucked down the rabbit hole. And he's like, everything's got to be connected somehow, and he's just like trapped in this loop of that the internet is, and you can go down some really weird conspiracy rabbit holes, and that's where he is. And his power is sort of like, if you've ever been around a bloodhound, and a bloodhound gets the scent of something, it has been developed over hundreds of generations to track that scent down. So bloodhounds, it's really hard to get them off a scent, because they will just keep going and going and going, and basically run themselves to exhaustion to where they die, unless the handler can like rein them in and get them to somehow take their mind off of that scent that they're chasing. And that's kind of what happens here. He's got this power, and it's worked against him because he wound up sniffing the worst, darkest, deepest, smelliest hole on the planet, which is the internet. And this dude, they're trying to figure out how to get him out, and this guy has like a perfect solution. He's like, yeah, I got a couple of teenage daughters. I know how to do it. I know how to solve this. Shut it off. And he just shuts it off. And Cypher just kind of goes nuts and starts blasting the room, and they stop him. I'm not going to show the rest. I'm not going to show the rest. There's really not a whole lot of spoiler. It's just leading in. They kind of got the gang together in this issue. It's really well written. Not a whole lot happens, but you're never bored. You're always compelled, and that's why I say you got to move the needle on this one. The Hunt for Wolverine has been really good. The scary thing is, the other parts of The Hunt for Wolverine are written by some really, really bad writers. I think Mariko Tamaki is on one of them, and I can't remember who was on another one, but neither of them can really write their way out of a paper bag. So hopefully they don't suck. Hopefully Charles, the writer here, has sort of already written a guideline, and they just need to put together a story. Hopefully they can do it. This guy right here, he's good. I think he's doing a really good job with this. I'm excited for this. This is the first, I wasn't even excited when I heard about this Hunt for Wolverine. They're bringing Wolverine back. Until I just picked it up on a lark. I picked up the first issue, and it was really good. So move the needle with this. Go get it. It's worth it. Go get the other ones, and we'll see how they go. I'm hoping it's good. Marvel, we want to like you. But thanks for watching. It's about 8 minutes in. I'm Nerdicane. You can hit me up here. You can hit me up on Twitter. I got a break from school, so I will probably be playing Xbox again. So I'm Nerdicane on Xbox as well. And if you hit me up, just come say hi. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.